Hello and welcome to PrEP, Podcast and Radio English Program, a podcast and radio series for Yemeni learners of English, brought to you by Amideast, Yemen. The aim of this series is to provide Yemeni learners of English with more exposure to and practice with English. So, now, let's meet your teachers for today's lessons.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You have just tuned in to the PrEP podcast brought to you by Amideast, Yemen. I'm your host Ansam, and joining me on this incredible journey is the one and only Sarah.
Hi there. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Today we will discuss the features of a good neighborhood using the simple present tense.
Let's start with a fun warm-up activity, word association. I will say a word and Sarah, you will give a word that comes into your mind related to it. For example, house. You will say home. Now, let's begin. Ready?
Yes, go ahead.
The first word is park.
Playground.
Excellent. Now, let's try another word. Street.
Car.
Wonderful. Let's do one more. How about school?
Students.
Fantastic job. A final one, the word is police.
Crime.
Wow! I hope you enjoyed this word association game. It's an engaging way to get our minds thinking about the neighborhood. Now, let's ask three people about their neighborhood and listen to what they say. This is Fatma. Hi Fatma, where do you live?
I live in Malla.
Is your neighborhood good?
Oh yes, we have tall buildings. There is a supermarket near my house and my neighborhood is very clean.
That's so nice. And what about you, Ahmed? Where do you live?
I live in Mansoura.
Do you like your neighborhood?
No, actually, it's very crowded and noisy. You see a lot of cars everywhere, and there is a lot of traffic most of the time.
Now, let's meet Maryam. Hi Maryam, how are you?
I'm fine.
Where do you live, Maryam?
I live in Abiyan.
What is one good thing about your neighborhood?
My neighborhood? Well, it's very quiet. There is a park near my house. The children usually play there and I go there too.
What do you do in the park?
Well, I walk, relax, and sometimes meet my friends there.
Oh, really?
Yes?
Is there anything bad about your neighborhood?
Oh, yes. All the places are far away from our house. We don't have any supermarkets, school, or hospitals nearby. So we take a bus or a taxi when we go anywhere.
In this conversation, we have used the simple present tense to talk about general truths. For example, I live in Ma'alla. There is a supermarket near my house. My neighborhood is very clean.
Also, we have used the simple present tense to talk about habits. For example, the children usually play in the park. I walk, relax, and meet my friends. We take a bus or a taxi when we go anywhere.
Dear listeners, did you get it? Here's a short test for you. Number 1. Rima dash a big house. Have or has. Number 2. My neighbors dash very kind and helpful. Which one? Am, is, or are? Number 3. Fuad usually dash to the restaurant on Fridays. Fuad usually goes or go. The children dash in the park. Plays or play. The girls dash English at an institute. Study or studies.
Now, let's check the answers. Number 1. Rima has a big house. Number 2. My neighbors are very kind and helpful. Number 3. Fuad usually goes to the restaurant on Fridays. Number 4. The children play in the park. Number 5. The girls study English at an institute.
Your answers are right.
Now, let's listen to Ansam telling her friend about her neighborhood.
Hey Sarah, great to see you here.
I'm looking for an apartment.
Great, so you are thinking of moving here? This is a good neighborhood. It is very safe and convenient.
What do you mean by convenient?
Everything is near, like supermarket, school, hospital, and a bus station.
Oh, really? Is there a supermarket nearby?
Yes, it is next to the restaurant.
A restaurant. Great. That means I don't have to cook. What is one thing that you like about this neighborhood?
Well, my parents live nearby and I can visit them anytime.
Is there anything that you dislike in this neighborhood?
Yes, on weekends it is very crowded and there is a lot of traffic, like buses and taxis.
Why is that?
The people in the other towns come to do their shopping here because everything is cheap. Now, answer these questions, Sarah. Can you help us with the answers?
Yes, sure.
Is Ansam's neighborhood safe and convenient?
Yes, it is.
So, what are some good things in Ansam's neighborhood?
Oh, there is a supermarket, a restaurant, a shopping mall, a bank, a park, and good transportation.
What are some bad things about her neighborhood?
There are many cars and buses. It's very crowded.
We listen to Jana talk about her neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Jana and I live in Hormaksar. My neighborhood is very quiet. There are a lot of big houses and some apartment buildings. The streets are very clean and there aren't many cars. So there is not much traffic in my neighborhood. My school is near my house. I usually walk to school. There is also a park so the children don't play on the street. There aren't any restaurants, but there is a big supermarket, so it's easy to buy food or groceries. I like my neighborhood because it's very safe. There is no crime and my neighbors are good and we help each other. The police station is next to the school, which is very nice. However, the only bad thing about my neighborhood is that the hospital is quite far. but I feel I'm lucky to live in this neighborhood.
Now, let's listen to the statements and say whether they are true or false. Number 1. Jenna's house is in a noisy place.
False.
Number 2. There are only a few cars on the street.
True.
Good, right answer. Number 3. Children usually play on the street.
False.
Number 4. Jenna goes to school by bus.
False.
Number 5. There is no crime in Jenna's neighborhood.
True.
One good thing about Jenna's neighborhood is that the hospital is very near to her house.
False.
Great job! Your answers are correct.
Now it's your turn, dear listeners, to tell us about your neighborhood. Number 1. Where would you like to live? Mualla, Mansoura, or Hormaksar, or the place you live in? Number 2. Describe your neighborhood. Number 3. Mention 2 things you like and 2 things you dislike about your neighborhood.
Well done! With this, we come to the end of our episode on neighborhoods. Stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you and goodbye.